everybody. Love having been part of Salute Your Shorts, and it's exciting to be able to be back in a tiny, tiny way moderating this for the virtual festival. So I think Erin wanted you to introduce yourself and talk about your relationship to Salute Your Shorts and the films you've done in the past.
Great. So hi, my name is Anna Baumgarten. I am the writer and director of Line Dry. I had a film previously in the festival called Disfluency, which was directed by Laura Holliday. I wrote and produced, and that was in the 2019 festival.
Okay, awesome. Sweet. Great. Well, I love your film. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I kind of wanted to just dive in.
Great.
So I'm curious in terms of, did you shoot this before, you shot this before the pandemic?
Yes, I did. We shot it in 2019, I think May. But yeah, it was before all the craziness.
Yes. I was curious if you had any social distancing techniques that were part of this. But yeah, so I would love to know where the original seed for this idea came from and what made you decide to turn it into a film.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of my ideas are inspired by my own life and, events that have happened. So Line Dry came about from a very little incident where I was doing my laundry. I had a ton of laundry to do and several loads, and I found out my dryer was broken and I had a panic attack, and a friend was with me at the time and he helped me. He's like, no, it's fine. Like, we'll just hang everything in your apartment. And just having somebody there and having somebody like say the solution out loud and acting like it wasn't a big deal played a huge part in like regaining my sense of security and all that. So it came from a very literal place. But what made me decide to make it was I actually was set to direct a feature film in the summer of 2019, and I hadn't directed since college. So I really needed to kind of get back on my feet in that sense. So I was like, I need to do something that's like one location, simple, performance driven. So that's how I decided to do it. And it's also an idea that had been kind of nagging at me. And those are usually the projects that I pursue, is something that I can't stop thinking about, something that, wants to be made.
Yeah. How did you decide what moments to script and what moments to live as subtext? And did you
Yeah. What a great question. I feel like I scripted most of it and was like fairly detailed. But the actresses that I cast, Katie Sita and Ariella Barrere, are both great, and they just kind of brought something to it that I couldn't write on the page. But everything from like the flicking off to, the multiple times entering the laundry room and the kind of eye roll moments, and then the realization of like, oh God, all of that was scripted. I think the water bottle moment I think that might not have been scripted. But yeah, most of it was on the page. I consider myself a writer before anything else, so I try to go by the book.
That's awesome. Did you anything from the cutting room floor that you're like, oh, I thought this would be a great idea, and then it just didn't work in the edit?
Yeah, totally. So me and my editor, Kevin Baru, we worked like forever on this cut. It was just one of those things we couldn't quite figure out. But for the panic attack, we had a very elaborate kind of like, you get inside the actress's head who's having the panic attack more. So there's a lot of cutaways to like sounds and noises in the laundry room, very kind of like eerie and, anxiety driven. And we just decided that it was better to stay with our main character, Kris's perspective. So we kind of stripped that out and kept it very bare bones and very, back to performance. So that's the biggest thing, I'd say.
That's cool. How did you so this is an idea that you were like, okay, I want to shoot something. It's like one location, it's very performance driven. Did you fund it yourself? Did you seek outside funding? How long was your shoot? Yeah.
Yes. So I funded it myself. It was all in all, everything, top to bottom through post-production was about $6,000. So I tend to like save up a certain amount for projects and then I spend it, which is scary, but it's an investment in yourself. So I try to look at it that way. But yeah.
And when did you decide, hey, this is for festivals, not just like, something that I'm making to prepare for my feature?
Yeah, I think that I always intended to submit it to festivals, but that wasn't its primary purpose. So I submitted it to festivals, all the big ones, a lot of small ones. And we got into Palm Springs, which was like huge and unexpected. And it kind of restored my faith in the project a little bit. Just after you work on something forever, you're like, what, like, is this good? Does this make sense? So it was nice to get that kind of, recognition. And then of course, being at Salute Your Shorts might be my favorite. I think it is my favorite Los Angeles Film Festival. Yeah, but they're really great there. They do a great job and take care of filmmakers, and Erin's wonderful. So yeah.
So was Palm Springs virtual?
Yeah, Palm Springs is all virtual.
Were you disappointed?
I was, because I love Palm Springs. That might be my favorite short film festival, like overall. Just like, I went once, we didn't have a film in it, but just the Palm Springs experience is always really fun.
Yeah.
And also, seeing your project on a screen you can't match that. So it was a little disappointing, but I was so grateful to be in it. And it did feel like unexpected for me. And yeah, but Palm Springs did an excellent job, because there were like, they had all the same kind of panels that they normally have with like experts. So I got to meet a ton of people and I connected with a lot of people in the industry. So that was really great. Everything from like distributors to, directors and things.
Cool. Do you, now that you're kind of moving into features, do you see yourself continuing to make shorts? Do they kind of occupy a forever place in your creative life, or do you consider them kind of like a phase that you plan to move out of?
Again, a great question. I think shorts always have a purpose, no matter what stage you're at. So there's definitely more shorts in the future. I have one that I really want to make about a couple of people late night at a grocery store, trying to figure out how to fill balloons with helium. So that's like the next nugget of an idea that I have that I want to make. And again, it's something that like I can't stop thinking about. So shorts, I'll always make shorts, I think.
Cool. Tell me about the writer side of yourself. Have you always been a writer? Did you need encouragement to believe in your own voice? What was that process like for you?
Yeah. So I've always considered myself a writer, since like first grade. That's like what I wanted to be, an author. And then, you learn about all the other kinds of writing. So writing's always been at my core. And I always feel like I've had a strong connection to my voice. Really, it's directing where I have the crazy imposter syndrome, where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing or how to do it, or, I'm not good enough, or somebody can do this better. So that's really the side of me that I struggle with more. But writing, I feel pretty comfortable in.
And so how have you kind of moved past the fears and like questions about directing in your...
Oh man, you just got to do it. I had, for the feature, I was debating about directing it myself. And I had so many people pushing me to be like, but this is your story. Like this, out of all the stories you've ever told, like this is the one that you have to tell. So having people behind me supporting it, that was really pushing me and telling me I could do it. That's where I found my courage. But I wasn't easy, and it's not going to continue to be easy. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Is it rewarding though?
Oh, absolutely. I act as well, mostly for stage, and I feel I feel like I do know how to talk to an actor and work with an actor. And that's my favorite part about it. It satisfies like my acting craving, but I feel weird in front of a screen most of the time performing myself. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you have for an up and coming, like, here's a better way to phrase this question. What advice would you have for your like 16-year-old self?
Don't let other people's opinions about what you should be doing get in the way. Like, don't be afraid to say, I am a director, I am a writer, or I am whatever it might be, and go for it. I think I let I don't know, I got in a zone where I was comfortable with doing one thing. Specifically, I produced a lot in college, which I loved and I still do to this day. And honestly, I think it's why I can make projects, because I know how to put everything together. But yeah, you just got to choose what you want to do and really practice at it and figure it out. And don't let people tell you that's not the right thing, or let other people steer you in a different direction.
What do you hope people come away from this film with? Questions or feelings or?
Yeah, I would say that you never know what's going on with other people. So if a stranger, if a friend, if anybody is acting a certain way and you're like, they're really being a dick, you don't always know what's behind that. And to have a little more, empathy for those people and anything they may be going through, especially, I mean, I've had people tell me this is like very pandemic relevant, like these feelings of like pent up anxiety and like, the straw that breaks the camel's back type thing, and not knowing how to handle it, or it comes out in weird ways. So I think that's definitely what I want people to take away, and that it's, that we can help each other and you can rely on others.
Mm-hmm. And what's next for you?
Lordy, I got to get this feature out. We're wrapping it up in the next 2 months, and so we're going to be doing fall festival submissions, and so kind of, letting that out into the world and doing, going to see it at festivals if we can, and bringing it to everyone. So definitely that.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Any last words for Salute Your Shorts? Recommendations for people?
Oh, what a great question. There's 2 shorts that I interviewed people for, and they were both just excellent. So Coffee Shop Names, you have to see. It's very, very funny. It has like every genre in it. It's like action, comedy, musical. It's great. And relatable. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. And then Affirmative Action, which is fur like dog fur, affirmative action, which is deeply horrifying and funny. And great. That explores how how people, like, on their websites, they employ more dogs or list them as members than they do Black people. So it's very dark, but highly recommend. So those 2 for sure.
Wow. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And I love Salute Your Shorts. Thank you for having me. So stoked to be back again and looking forward to more fests with them.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. Thanks.